Imagine stepping into your crypto command center, perfectly synced between your iPhone, that sleek MacBook running Chrome, and of course your impenetrable ledger stacks.
Yeah.
For you, the seasoned crypto developer and active trader, the quest for the ultimate hot wallet isn't just about, convenience. It's really about power, precision, and frankly, peace of mind.
Precisely. And that's what we're digging into today. A seriously deep dive into two major players in the Ethereum hot wallet scene, Rabby and MetaMask. Our
Wow.
mission: to really unpack their core functions, slice through the security claims, scrutinize how easy they are to use day to day, and get to the bottom of how seamlessly they actually play with your ledger stacks.
We want to arm you with that nuanced knowledge you need to pick the best daily driver, basically.
Exactly.
And yeah, this deep dive is absolutely tailor-made for you, the experienced user.
Yeah.
We're skipping the 101 stuff, jumping straight into advanced features, multi-device sync, which is always a headache, and those critical backup mechanisms, things that really matter for high-level interaction.
So let's frame this right. For someone like you with a ledger stacks, hot wallets serve a very specific purpose. They are not your primary storage. That's key.
Yeah, the ledger is the vault. Untouchable offline keys, gold standard stuff.
Right. So hot wallets, being internet connected, they're for the active stuff. Frequent transactions, dApp interactions. Think of them as the interface, the control panel, not the vault itself.
Makes sense, like a specialized remote control for the main vault, the ledger.
Yeah.
So even with these wallets, every single transaction still needs that physical tap, that confirmation on the ledger device itself.
Absolutely. That's your security layer. The hot wallet is just presenting the information, initiating the request. The ledger signs off.
Got it.
And this kind of brings us to EOAs, externally owned wallets. Briefly, these are wallets like MetaMask or Rabby when they stand alone, not linked to hardware.
Okay.
They rely on a seed phrase for the private key.
Yeah.
Now, they give you full control, no third party, which is great, but the downsides: complexity for newbies, sure, but crucially, lose that phrase and your funds are gone. Potentially compromise UX, too.
So understanding that baseline helps appreciate how they act both alone and when tethered to the ledger.
It sets the stage.
Okay, let's jump into Rabby Wallet then. The Agile Challenger. Founded 2021 by DeBank, originally Chinese, now Singapore-based. It's been getting a lot of buzz.
It really has. People are calling it a far better replacement for MetaMask, especially for, let's say, true DeFi dogenes.
High praise. So does it live up to it? Functionality, ease of use, where's the edge?
Well, it's definitely built with multi-chain in mind from day one. Compatible with, over 115, maybe 120 plus EVM chains now? That alone is a big plus if your portfolio is spread out.
And the automatic network switching. That sounds like a real standout feature.
Oh, it's huge. Rabby just switches to the right chain automatically when you connect to a dApp. Contrast that with MetaMask, where you often have to manually fiddle with the network selector. That's a major friction point Rabby solves.
Yeah, I can imagine. For someone constantly jumping between, say, Arbitrum and Polygon and Base, that saves clicks, time, and probably prevents mistakes.
Definitely. Reduces the mental load significantly. Plus, you get comprehensive portfolio tracking across all those EVM chains in one view. No more hopping between explorers to see your whole picture.
Nice. What about integrated tools?
Good stuff there, too. Built-in swaps, the fee is pretty competitive, 0.25%, and it's smart defaults to chains where you actually have assets, hides the zero balances, just cleans things up.
And I read about an instant gas top-up. That sounds incredibly useful.
It really is. Basically, you can pay gas on chain A using tokens you have on chain B. It bridges on the fly for you. Think about time-sensitive situations.
Yeah, like needing to execute a trade fast, but being short ETH on Optimism, but having USDC on Arbitrum.
Exactly. Rabby lets you bridge that gap instantly so you don't miss the opportunity waiting for a manual bridge transfer. It's a really clever solution.
Very practical.
And they has a curated dApp list, over 15,000, filterable by chain, helps avoid scam sites. Plus, managing multiple addresses under one Rabby account is straightforward. Good for developers or people managing different strategies.
Okay, so the UX sounds slick. What about security, especially layered with our ledger?
Rabby pushes the Vigilant Guardian angle. Standard stuff like end-to-end encryption, 2FA support, multi-sig options. But the real differentiator for an active trader is the advanced transaction insight.
The pre-sign check. The simulation before you actually sign. How big a deal is that in practice?
It's potentially massive. It shows you the estimated balance changes before you commit. For complex DeFi stuff, seeing that preview can stop you from signing something malicious or just making a costly mistake.
Like approving a dodgy contract.
Precisely. And it explicitly warns you if you've never interacted with this contract before.
Hmm?
That's a simple but powerful defense against common phishing tactics.
Mm-hmm.
He even does neat things like graying out known scam transactions in your history, just tidies it up. And importantly, built-in approvals management, like revoke.cash, but right inside the wallet, makes cleaning up old permissions much easier.
Okay, and crucially when it's connected to the ledger stacks.
It behaves exactly as it should. It's purely the visual interface. Your private keys never leave the ledger. Rabby doesn't see them, can't access them. Every transaction still needs that physical confirmation on your stacks. That's the secure setup we recommend.
Got it. So platform support. How does it cover my ecosystem Chrome, the Mac client, the iPhone? Is it seamless?
It's pretty comprehensive. Chrome extension, naturally. A dedicated desktop app for Mac, both Intel and Apple Silicon, which is nice. And an iOS app for iPhone needs iOS 15.1 plus.
And the sync between them.
It's interesting. If you create a Rabby native account, you use its seed phrase to sync. But for you, using your ledger, it's simpler. Connect your ledger to Rabby on your Mac, for example, then connect the same ledger to Rabby on your iPhone or Chrome extension.
Ah, and the ledger-derived accounts just appear.
Exactly. The ledger itself acts as the source of truth for syncing those secure accounts across different Rabby instances. Very clean.
And backups, besides the ledger's main phrase.
For any Rabby native accounts you might hypothetically create, you'd need to back up its specific seed phrase, keep it offline. But for everything tied to your ledger, the only backup that truly matters is your ledger's 24-word recovery phrase. That stays offline, secure, never typed into Rabby or any software, full stop.
Crystal clear. Okay, let's switch gears to the incumbent, MetaMask, the big one. Often called the Facebook of crypto wallets, right? Developed by consensus, deeply woven into Ethereum.
That's the one. It's the de facto standard for many. Functionality-wise, it's solid, very Ethereum-focused historically. Supports ERC-20s, you can add custom tokens, handles NFTs, ERC-721, 1155, and you can stake via the MetaMask portfolio feature using liquid staking providers like Lido, Rocket Pool.
It also has built-in swaps, but I remember the fee being higher.
Yep, significantly higher.
Right.
The 0.875% service fee for swaps in MetaMask compared to Rabby's 0.25%. That's a noticeable difference for active users. But its wallet API is ubiquitous. Pretty much every dApp connects seamlessly. And the interface, while perhaps less feature-rich than Rabby now, is generally seen as intuitive, easy to grasp. Familiarity counts for a lot.
Okay, security. It's battle-tested, but you mentioned caveats. How does it fare with the ledger stacks?
Integration is solid. Just like Rabby, when connected, MetaMask is read-only. All signing happens on the ledger, which needs to be plugged in, running the Ethereum app. Keys stay safe on the hardware.
What about that blind signing issue I've heard mentioned?
Right, that's a key point, especially for complex DeFi stuff. Sometimes, for certain intricate transactions, MetaMask requires you to enable blind signing on your ledger. This means you're approving something without the ledger device being able to show you all the human-readable details.
Which sounds risky.
It can be. If you're not 100% sure what that transaction does, it requires extra diligence. And then there are the privacy concerns.
Ah, yes, the inferior connection and data collection.
Exactly. Critics point out MetaMask's default settings can leak identifiable info. And its reliance on Infura, a centralized service run by its parent company Consensus, for relaying transactions feels a bit counter to the decentralized ethos for some.
Yeah, a dedicated crypto dev would likely raise an eyebrow at that level of centralization.
Sure.
And the iCloud backup warning.
Crucial point for iPhone users. MetaMask explicitly warned users to disable iCloud backup for wallet data. A user apparently lost significant funds this way. It highlights a potential vulnerability if you're not careful with cloud sync settings.
Good reminder. So platform-wise, how does MetaMask compare to Rabby across my Mac, Chrome, and iPhone setup?
Available as a Chrome and Firefox extension and mobile apps for iOS and Android. But here's the key difference. MetaMask does not have a dedicated installable Mac desktop application like Rabby does.
So on my MacBook, I'm stuck inside the Chrome browser extension.
Pretty much. That might feel less integrated or native compared to running Rabby's desktop app. For syncing MetaMask native accounts, you import the secret recovery phrase, SRP, or use QR codes. For ledger accounts, same principle as Rabby. Connect the ledger, and the addresses appear.
And backup mechanisms for MetaMask itself.
For native accounts, it's all about that SRP. Keep it offline. The extension also lets you download a wallet data backup, a JSON file. But be clear, This file contains account info, contacts, settings. It's for reconfiguring the interface if you reset, not for recovering keys. It's typically not encrypted with your private key.
Understood. Okay, let's put them head-to-head directly for our pro user. Ledger Stacks integration first. Sounds like a tie?
Fundamentally, yes, both integrate securely. Your keys stay on the ledger, the hot wallet is the window. Diligent ledger use means high security with either.
What?
But the experience around that integration differs. It's about the information flow, the warnings, the ease of multi-chain use through that ledger connection. That's where the choice gets nuanced for an experienced user.
Let's nail down that user experience. Synchronization across the ecosystem. Chrome, Mac client, iPhone. Who pulls ahead?
Rabby, arguably. Having that native Mac desktop client alongside the Chrome extension and iPhone app provides a potentially more unified, robust experience across all your Apple devices.
Right, whereas MetaMask forces the browser extension route on the Mac.
Exactly. It might feel a bit less seamless if you prefer dedicated apps over browser tabs for everything.
Security and safety for the active trader. Digging into the fine print. Who wins here? Especially considering frequent, complex transactions.
This is where Rabby's proactive features, like that pre-sign check simulation and the new contract warnings, really feel targeted at active users. It adds a significant safety layer against mistakes or malicious contracts. Preventing one bad signing pays for itself many times over.
And the grayed out scam transactions, the built-in revoke tool. Nice touches.
Definitely quality of life improvements. On the flip side, MetaMask's privacy concerns with data tracking and Infura dependency might bother some privacy-focused users, even with ledger security. And that iCloud warning is a must-heed for iPhone users.
So vigilance is key regardless. But Rabby seems to offer more built-in guardrails in the UI itself.
That's a fair summary. And remember the universal best practice. Regularly revoke old contract permissions. Rabby makes it easier, but you should do it regardless of your wallet. Maybe using a tool like revoke.cash.
Functionality and UX for the developer-trader persona, constantly jumping chains, hitting various dApps.
If that's your daily reality, Rabby's automatic network switching is probably the killer feature. It just streamlines that constant context switching. The gas top-up adds another layer of efficiency for time-sensitive plays.
But MetaMask has the incumbency advantage. Universal support.
It does. While Rabby claims compatibility with anything MetaMask supports, you might occasionally find a very niche older dApp where MetaMask just works slightly smoother due to direct, long-standing integration. It's becoming less common, though.
And the swap fees, again, Rabby's 0.25% versus MetaMask's 0.875%. That's not trivial for volume.
Not at all. Over hundreds or thousands of swaps, that difference is substantial.
Finally, the ultimate safety net.
Backups. Repetition for emphasis. For both wallets, when connected to your ledger stacks, the ledger's 24-word recovery phrase is everything. That's your paramount backup. Secure it physically, never digitize it, never share it.
The hot wallet's own backup features, SRP, JSON, are secondary.
Entirely secondary for your ledger funds. They're about restoring the wallet interface, its settings, maybe non-ledger accounts if you had any.
Yep.
But the security of your main assets rests entirely on that physical ledger phrase.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up. We've seen Rabby emerge as a really strong contender, excelling in multi-chain agility, UX features like auto-network switching, and those proactive security warnings, tailored for frequent, complex use.
Yeah, it really feels designed for the active DeFi user. MetaMask remains the established, widely compatible choice, but with trade-offs in terms of fees, potential privacy concerns, and lacking that native desktop client on Mac.
But crucially, for you, the listener with the ledger stacks, both can function as secure gateways if used correctly. The ledger is the anchor.
Absolutely. Your diligence with the ledger phrase and confirming transactions on the device itself is always your primary defense. The hot wallet choice enhances usability and adds layers, but doesn't replace that core hardware security.
So the final thought to leave you with. Considering Rabby's sharp focus on UX for the power user and its enhanced pre-transaction clarity versus MetaMask's sheer incumbency and universal integration, how might your strategic choice of hot wallet today shape your efficiency, your security posture, and ultimately your interactions within the ever-evolving crypto landscape tomorrow?